As we approach the halfway mark of the 2025 F1 season, it's become clear that McLaren are the team to beat, and the Drivers' Championship battle is probably going to come down to Lando Norris versus Oscar Piastri. In Canada 2 weekends ago, the two clashed on track with Lando Norris coming off worse, retiring from the race after rear-ending his teammate in a moment of pure madness. In a championship battle that hadn't really ignited so far, that was the spark which may set the tone for the rest of the season. The question on everyone's mind now is, how do McLaren handle their drivers from this point on? Is it time to use team orders? Have they established a number one driver internally? Or is the battle between Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri only just beginning? Today, I'll check out what the team has planned, why the team might have already decided who they see as number one, and what to expect in Austria this weekend. So don't go anywhere. What happened at the Canadian Grand Prix was exactly what McLaren feared and exactly what every F1 fan wanted. Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri had so far played perfect teammates this season, despite clearly being each other's competition for the Drivers' Championship title. In Australia and Japan, they obeyed team orders when given them, even if they hadn't sounded happy about it in the moment. McLaren's number one rule for their drivers is that they race for the team before themselves. But come the Canadian Grand Prix, it was clear that they had no competitors in the Constructors' Championship, which left Lando and Oscar free to fight. While their battle for fourth place was only worth 2 extra championship points to whoever won it, every point matters at the moment. It was Lando who lost out in the worst possible way, throwing away the 10 points he had in the bag by driving into the back of his teammate's car in a moment of madness. Fortunately for the team, the 10 lost points doesn't make a massive difference to the team championship. Their closest competitor, Mercedes, are still 175 points behind them. With such a big gap, McLaren have decided they will continue to let Oscar and Lando race freely, although say the incident in Canada reinforced that the teammates must apply more caution when in close combat. Team principal Andrea Stella said after the race that while there would be tough conversations back at the factory before this weekend's Austrian Grand Prix, he stressed the incident would not have any impact on the way they go racing and the papaya rules the drivers have agreed to abide by. This clash was always coming. McLaren said as much as well. They may be teammates, but they are still title rivals. But with the first collision now having happened, Stella believes McLaren's strong culture will allow both the team and the two drivers to emerge stronger from the events of Canada. We lean on our culture, which is very strong, and we use these episodes once they are a little chilled and our mind is colder than it is in the heat of the moment, to become a stronger team with two stronger drivers. Accepting that the two will be fighting wheel to wheel again, Stella said, "Having experienced this kind of situation, I think it will make us just more robust as a team, and in terms of each of our two drivers against these situations, because the two McLarens racing close to one another will happen again, but there will have to be better judgment in terms of the distance." Norris's response to the incident has been widely applauded. He apologized over the team radio as his car came to a stop at the end of the pit wall. When he turned up for media duties, he said the exact same thing. The incident was entirely his own fault. Norris has shown a tendency to be extremely self-critical in the past, and having been the catalyst of the long-awaited intra-McLaren clash after a year of Norris and Piastri battling closely, team boss Andrea Stella was asked if he fears the British driver could let his head drop and beat himself up for the incident. It is an episode that cost him championship points, and is an episode that, from his own admission, he said the principle was clear. "I just made a misjudgment," Stella explained. So this may have an impact in terms of his confidence, but it's up to us as a team to show our full support to Lando. And on this one, I want to be completely clear. While the team have publicly declared their support for Lando, there are those in the media who think that the team may be ready to make a decision on who their lead driver is. While it might not make a difference at the majority of races, when there is a 50-50 call, it could go one driver's way. But before I talk about that, if you're enjoying the video and want to catch all the news and analysis from this season's F1 races, then make sure to press the like button and subscribe to F1 Reverse. Thanks a lot. Ahead of the Canadian Grand Prix, McLaren already knew they probably weren't going to be in the fight for a race win, and that proved true once the driving started. At a circuit that was very gentle on tyres, McLaren couldn't leverage their incredible tyre temperature control to their advantage. It was a race that really exposed just how close the performance is between each team and how powerful the McLaren tyre cooling is to their championship ambitions. It is an advantage that no one's been able to figure out, with talk of water cooling being rubbished and FIA inspections stating that their solution is just very clever but definitely not illegal. Nonetheless, the team don't want their drivers crashing into each other every other race in pursuit of the driver's title. While the Constructors' Championship title looks safe for now, an all-out intra-team war between Norris and Piastri would put that at risk. To stop that happening, former F1 driver Ralf Schumacher thinks that an internal decision has been made at McLaren to back Oscar Piastri for the Drivers' Championship if the two battling becomes a problem for the team. I believe that it is now internally decided that Piastri is the man the team will focus on in terms of the World Championship, the six-time race winner told Sky Deutschland. Lando shows too many weaknesses and makes too many mistakes, including his senseless driving into the back of Oscar in Canada. He has apologized, and that shows what a great person he is. But it's no use, because great people rarely win titles. He went on to say, "This is the low point now, because he's lost his nerve a bit. You have to give him one thing. He was once again faster than Piastri. He didn't manage to do it in qualifying, but in the race he closed the gap and was simply better. He still has the speed, especially in the race." Seven-time race winner Juan Pablo Montoya agrees that Piastri has quietly assumed top dog status at McLaren. Speaking to Casino Hawks, Montoya said, "I think he, talking about Norris, is very good at winning. I think he's very good at dominating. But chasing and being in uncomfortable situations, it seems like he never learned to deal with them because he never experienced enough of them. So now he's finding himself in difficult situations that maybe he doesn't have enough experience to deal with. That's the only explanation for me." Losing points on Sunday to Oscar wasn't the end of the world. Having an opportunity to pass Oscar was good, but you need to put yourself in situations where you're going to come out ahead. You never want to go into a fight without an exit strategy. Piastri has already earned the nickname Icy Boy, and comparisons to 2007 world champion Kimi Raikkonen, who was known as the Iceman for his cool demeanor on and off track. His calm composure and occasional scathing honesty, as well as that tweet, have made him an absolute fan favorite during his short career. Oscar has been as unflustered as they come so far in his career, but the pressure may start to ramp up in the second half of the season as a maiden championship comes within reach. Oscar has that calmness, Montoya said. But if it becomes a thing where it's all about the speed and Lando can put it together, I think Lando can still come out on top. There are still enough races that if Lando gets in a streak and wins 4 or 5 races in a row, everything is flipped. If you can go and beat Oscar 2 or 3 weekends in a row, all of a sudden, Oscar is the one under pressure. Oscar is aiming to become just the third Aussie to win an F1 Drivers' Championship, and the first since Alan Jones back in 1980. Jones has backed Piastri to break the 45-year drought, saying earlier this year he believes Norris is mentally weak. Whatever you think of Norris or Piastri, watching the two race is excellent for fans and terrifying for McLaren. Red Bull and Ferrari will have upgrade packages for their cars in Austria this weekend, and if they can find a big step, McLaren's lead in the Constructors' Championship might start to shrink. If a battle for the team title does begin, do you think McLaren will decide to back Piastri for the driver's title when team order decisions need to be made? Or do you think they'll continue to let the two race throughout the rest of the season? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, and until next time, drive safe and bye for now.